Alrighty, good morning everybody. It is Tuesday, October 3rd, 23. Let's get started here. Just some quick notes here. We do have some news dropping. I always seem to forget to mention that. Yesterday there was a nice little jump in volatility with the news at, I believe, half hour after the open for Monday there, which was the construction spending or ISM manufacturing. And now today, just a heads up, we have, 30 minutes after the open, we will be seeing the JOLTS news drop. Could be a jump in volatility. Be careful if you're in a trade at that moment. And second thing is I will not be here tomorrow for the pre-market broadcast. Be doing something and will not be able to be here to do the broadcast in the morning. So I still plan on doing the weekly webinar at some point on Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon. If can't get it in tomorrow, then obviously sometime before the end of the week, like we did with the weekly webinar last week. Apologize again. I'm basically on vacation here in a different state, so sometimes my schedule is a little off compared to if I was at home, So just be aware of that. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the things that happened here yesterday. Now, yesterday was a bit of a bloodbath for anyone who was trying to trade in a higher time frame direction because the market kind of faked out the bulls and the bears throughout the whole day. The idea was actually to be short, and that's kind of the overall direction. If you were to kind of calculate, we pushed to a lower low. In comparison, of course, we ended up closing right where the market opened, just a little higher, but a very, very balanced day. A very difficult market, again, if you were trying to trade directionally for larger moves. So let's look at what happened here. I did say that what were we looking at? We were looking at kind of a mixed bag. We saw decent bullish signals. If I zoom out here to look at the bigger picture here, we did see some decent bullish signals back from last week's low. And we talked about seeing daily, 4-hour, hourly, all lining up there for an attempt by the bulls to break out. And then we saw that whole pattern fail coming in to this week, right? So I believe Friday of last week, we had a major sell-off. It was almost as if this whole attempt by the bulls was over with. And we talked about on Monday, yesterday, coming into the new week, that we were either going to have a little retracement of that leg, right? Have one of these typical bounces with everything aligning on the higher time frames, get a nice healthy pullback. That was the 61.8 retrace of that leg. The sell-off from the high of Friday came down right to the 61.8. We got a bounce out. And then we said coming into Monday morning, which is where my cursor is here, this could be one happened to my recording here. But it looks like the recording got stopped, so that sucks. But yeah, so if you missed out on a lot of this stuff, I don't blame you because it was a difficult day to read, but there were still so many great opportunities off of these areas. So that brings us into this overnight session. And as you can see, the bulls once again attempted to rally this market higher and failed one tick in front. In fact, that might even just be to the tick. One tick in front of our scaffolding again, just like yesterday, right off of it at some point there. And now we're down. And what do you know? The low of the overnight session, and we're bouncing nearly to the tick off of the next scaffolding level. So again, despite the choppiness of the market, despite it being super balanced and indecisive, we're still rotating. The biggest rotations of the day are right off of our roadmap levels. So right now, again, we're bouncing, failing off our scaffolding at the top end of the overnight range. Now at the bottom end of the overnight range, we're bouncing off our scaffolding, and now a nice failure just 2 ticks in front of 200. So that brings us into this morning. We'll go ahead and jump up to the higher time frames.